I've been doing fisheries my entire professional career, which is nearing 25 years now. My job's really fun. I get to figure out why we have some issues with our salmon in the basin, and I get to take my boat out and scuba. It rules. My name is David Kyle. I'm a program manager for Trout Unlimited, and we are on Lake Sammamish, just about 10 miles east of Seattle. Well, when I was first hired, I was focused on kokanee salmon restoration. But we quickly realized that things that were affecting kokanee were also affecting all the other salmon in the basin. We have a predation issue here. So there's a lot of salmon and there's a lot of non-native predators. We're talking about large and smallmouth bass, yellow perch, sunfish, rock bass, crappie, and their numbers have become very large, and so they eat a lot of baby salmon. We have 3 species of salmon that use this area, including Chinook, coho, and sockeye, and their landlocked variant kokanee salmon. When I was first hired, we came off of a pretty incredible run, and I thought, wow, this is going to be easy. And boy, was I wrong. I actually thought it was the black swan of kokanee, because the next year we saw under 200 individuals. So we went from thousands to hundreds of fish. And that trend continued for a number of years to a low of 19 fish. So we were worried about these fish blinking out. I saw it as a call to action, and fortunately, being a part of the kokanee work group here, our technical group really dug in. So this is all Brazilian elodea. Okay. As you can see, it's quite dense in the area, and it forms this really thick canopy. So this lake generally had like gravelly and sandy shorelines through 80% of it. So historically, this lake was relatively unvegetated. And what we found more recently, that introductions of Brazilian elodea and Eurasian watermilfoil are now occupying the entire near shore of the lake from about 1 foot in depth to 22 feet in depth. The Brazilian elodea was introduced likely through an aquarium dump. Some kind soul was trying to release their goldfish and likely, introduced this really aggressive, invasive, noxious weed. And the Eurasian watermilfoil was first documented in the 1970s, likely came from bilge water from a ship.
When we were trying to figure out just what was supporting all of these non-native predators, and we had been getting better information to validate that non-native predators were actually preying on kokanee and other salmon in the lake, we started to go down the rabbit hole of, well, what exactly is supporting all of these non-native fish? And that's when we really started looking at the invasive aquatic vegetation. We saw that this vegetation was basically supporting one or more critical life stages for all of these different non-native fish species. And we really got to see that the structure and the density and the location was really creating, in effect, a coral reef.
And what we found is that if we could reduce that, we could actually decrease the population and reduce that mortality we were seeing. So Trout Unlimited is part of the kokanee work group here in Lake Sammamish, and our partnership grew with King County as we worked to develop this project. Our initial seed money came from King County Council member Claudia Balducci, and that provided us with our first experiment at removing weeds.
The first surveys, when Trout Unlimited removed all the vegetation in these test plots, we were able to see that these non-native fish essentially disappeared. When we do our monitoring with SCUBA, it's the ultimate and best tool for monitoring the effects of our experimental treatments. And the reason why is because we can do direct observation and we can measure the actual fish response. And we just finished the 4th year of adaptive management treatments and monitoring, and every year we're seeing better and better results. Our direct observation and monitoring suggests that we can basically have a one-to-one effect. So if we remove 10% of the vegetation in the lake, we think we can reduce the abundance and biomass of non-native predators by 10%. That's our working theory. We think that this is a great way, it's a cost-effective and biologically effective way to really start to mitigate the effect of these non-native predators on sensitive salmon species.
Well, this is a multi-benefit project, so it doesn't just benefit salmon. These weeds have lots of negative impacts to water quality, to recreational uses, and actually have direct impacts on property values. And we've spoken to quite a few landowners around the lake here, and pretty much all of them are in big support of this work, and they're really excited that somebody's actually doing something about it.
So we would never be able to do what we're doing if we didn't have the support of Trout Unlimited. We would not be able to move the needle nearly as quickly.
This aquatic weed work really complements a lot of the other work that's being done for salmon, and really protects the investments we've all made in those things like habitat and reconnection projects. And it's just one of the many things I think that will really help recover our salmon populations.